How did a Swedish startup transform the way 3 billion people listen to music? And how does a company that pays out 70% of its revenue still manage to build a business worth over 50 billion? Today, we're diving deep into Spotify's business model, exploring how they turned music streaming into one of the most fascinating business stories of the 21st century. Let's rewind to 2006. The music industry was in crisis. Napster had shown people they could get music for free, and piracy was rampant. CD sales were plummeting. The industry was desperately looking for a solution. Enter Daniel Ek and Martin Lorentzon in Stockholm, Sweden. Ek had a radical idea. What if piracy wasn't the enemy, but actually showed what consumers really wanted? Unlimited access to music instantly for free or cheap. The challenge was convincing record labels to license their entire catalogs. After years of negotiations, Spotify launched in Europe in 2008 and finally reached the US in 2011. Their pitch to labels was simple. We'll give you 70% of our revenue and we'll convert pirates into paying customers. Today, Spotify has over 600 million users across 180 markets. But how exactly do they make money? Spotify operates on a freemium model with two main revenue streams. Stream 1: Premium subscriptions. This is Spotify's primary revenue source, accounting for roughly 90% of total revenue. Users pay a monthly fee for ad-free listening, offline downloads, and higher audio quality. Pricing varies by market, but in the US, it's typically $11.99 per month for individuals with family and student plans available. With over 250 million premium subscribers globally, that's billions in monthly recurring revenue. This predictable income stream is what investors love about subscription businesses. Stream 2: Advertising. For the 350 million free users, Spotify generates revenue through audio ads between songs, video ads, and display advertising. While this only contributes about 10% of revenue, it serves two crucial purposes. It monetizes non-paying users, and it acts as a funnel to convert free users into premium subscribers. The conversion strategy is brilliant. Free users experience interruptions and limitations, making the premium experience feel significantly better by comparison. Spotify reports that their conversion rate from free to premium is among the highest in the industry. In 2023, Spotify generated approximately $13 billion in revenue. That's remarkable growth from just $5 billion in 2018. However, here's the catch. They're still working toward consistent profitability. Why? Let's talk about costs. This is where Spotify's business gets really interesting and really challenging. The 70% problem. Spotify pays approximately 70% of every dollar earned to rights holders. That's record labels, publishers, and artists. This isn't negotiable. It's dictated by licensing agreements with the major labels: Universal Music Group, Sony Music, and Warner Music Group. Together, these three control roughly 70% of the music market. Let's do the math. If Spotify earns $13 billion, approximately $9 billion goes straight to rights holders. That leaves just $4 billion for everything else: technology infrastructure, employees, marketing, R&D, and hopefully profit. Technology and infrastructure. Running a global streaming platform isn't cheap. Spotify needs massive server capacity, sophisticated recommendation algorithms, content delivery networks spanning the globe, and constant app development across multiple platforms. These technology costs eat up another significant chunk of that remaining 30%. Growth investments. Spotify has been aggressively expanding into new markets and investing in new features like podcasts and audiobooks. They've spent billions acquiring podcast companies like Gimlet Media, Anchor, and Parcast, and secured exclusive deals with creators like Joe Rogan for over $200 million. This aggressive spending is why, despite massive revenue, Spotify has historically struggled with profitability. Some quarters they're profitable, others they're not. It's a delicate balance between growth and sustainability. In 2019, Spotify made a strategic pivot that could define its future. Podcasts. Why podcasts? The economics are completely different from music. With podcasts, Spotify can own content outright or sign exclusive deals that give them much more control. More importantly, podcast licensing costs are far lower than music. Instead of paying 70% to rights holders, Spotify might pay nothing for self-produced shows or negotiate much better rates for exclusive content. The podcast strategy serves multiple purposes. It differentiates Spotify from competitors like Apple Music and Amazon Music. Higher margin content improves overall profitability. More time spent on platform means more data and more engagement. Exclusive podcasts create network effects and lock-in. Spotify has invested over $1 billion in podcasts, acquiring multiple companies and signing deals with top creators. The Joe Rogan deal alone, reportedly worth over $200 million, was a statement of intent. Today, Spotify hosts over 5 million podcast titles. The results? Podcast consumption on Spotify has grown dramatically. In 2023, users spent approximately 25% of their listening time on non-music content. That's a significant shift that's gradually improving Spotify's margins. Here's something many people overlook. Spotify isn't just a music company, it's a data company. Every play, every skip, every playlist created, every search generates data. Spotify knows what you listen to, when you listen, what mood you're in, what you skip after 5 seconds, and what you repeat 50 times. This data is incredibly valuable. Recommendation engine. Spotify's algorithm-driven playlists like Discover Weekly and Release Radar are powered by this data. These features keep users engaged and discovering new music without human curation costs. The more accurate the recommendations, the stickier the platform becomes. For advertisers, Spotify offers unprecedented targeting. They can reach users based on listening habits, demographics, location, and even mood. A workout brand can target users listening to high-energy playlists. A meditation app can reach users listening to calm music late at night. Spotify for Artists provides musicians with analytics about their listeners. Where are they located? What playlists are working? This data helps artists plan tours, target marketing, and understand their audience. It creates value beyond just distribution. This data moat is a significant competitive advantage. The more users Spotify has, the better its algorithms become, which attracts more users. It's a virtuous cycle. Spotify doesn't operate in a vacuum. The competition is fierce and well-funded. Apple Music has over 100 million subscribers and benefits from being pre-installed on every iPhone. Amazon Music is bundled with Prime membership, giving it a massive built-in audience. YouTube Music leverages the world's largest video platform. Tidal offers high-fidelity audio for audiophiles. Each competitor has unique advantages. Apple and Amazon can afford to lose money on music because it supports their larger ecosystems. They don't need music to be profitable if it sells more iPhones or Prime memberships. Spotify's challenge is that music streaming is commoditized. The catalog is largely identical across platforms. If you can listen to the same songs everywhere, why choose Spotify? This is why user experience, recommendations, and exclusive content like podcasts become critical differentiators. The other major challenge is artist compensation. Spotify has faced ongoing criticism about how little artists earn per stream. While Spotify argues it's paying out billions to rights holders, individual artists, especially independent ones, often see fractions of a penny per stream. This tension between platform economics and artist sustainability remains unresolved. So where does Spotify go from here? The company's strategy for sustainable profitability involves several key initiatives. They're raising prices selectively across markets to improve revenue per user. They're expanding their higher-margin podcast and audiobook businesses. They're optimizing costs and improving operational efficiency. They've implemented selective layoffs to control expenses, and they're exploring new revenue streams like merchandise and ticketing. In 2023 and 2024, we've seen signs of progress. Spotify achieved profitability in several consecutive quarters, showing that the model can work. The key is balancing growth investment with cost discipline. The long-term vision seems to be evolving from a music streaming service to an audio platform, a destination for all audio content where Spotify has more control over costs and margins. If successful, this transformation could finally deliver consistent profitability while maintaining growth. Spotify's business model is a fascinating study in innovation, negotiation, and scale. They've revolutionized how we consume music, building a platform that serves hundreds of millions of users daily. Yet the economics remain challenging, caught between consumer expectations for low prices and industry demands for high royalty payments. The next few years will determine whether Spotify can truly crack the code, balancing growth, profitability, and sustainability. Can they leverage podcasts and data to build a defensible moat? Can they negotiate better terms with labels as they become more powerful? Can they justify premium pricing to consumers? What's certain is that Spotify has fundamentally changed the music industry. Whether that change ultimately benefits the company, the labels, the artists, or the listeners remains one of the most interesting business questions of our time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Spotify's business model, let me know what company you'd like me to analyze next. Subscribe for more business documentaries. This is Business Explained.